Welcome to Technology Information. I'm your host, Stefan. In today's video, we'll delve into China's recent shift away from Boeing as the nation commits to a $250 billion aircraft deal with Airbus. Boeing has been steadily ceding its position in the Chinese aircraft market to Airbus. In response to this trend, the U.S. Commerce Secretary is scheduled to visit China in search of assistance. As of July this year, China's fleet of narrow-body and wide-body aircraft has seen remarkable growth, surging by 18% and 26%, respectively, compared to figures from July 2018. However, Airbus has emerged as the predominant player in this equation, demonstrating substantial expansion in its A320neo, A321neo, and A350-900 models, while Boeing grapples with substantial challenges. China itself boasts an expansive market for wide-body aircraft, presenting a potential opportunity for Boeing. However, due to well-documented factors, Boeing's market share has been gradually diminishing. Fleet data reveals that despite the domestic and international aviation market contractions brought on by the pandemic, Chinese airlines have made significant acquisitions of Airbus aircraft. Furthermore, domestically produced C919 aircraft have been delivered to customers, showcasing China's commitment to homegrown aviation solutions. Notably, China placed substantial multi-billion-dollar orders with Boeing in 2011, 2015, and 2017, coinciding with high-level meetings between the leaders of both nations. An opportunity for President Xi Jinping to meet with U.S. President Joe Biden is anticipated during the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Dialogue in November. In 2022, Boeing expressed its disappointment with the persistence of geopolitical differences that continue to constrain U.S. aircraft exports following China's state-owned airlines' procurement of 300 aircraft from Airbus. However, the aging average fleet age of China's airlines over the past 5 years may offer Boeing a chance for revival. Industry experts contend that despite the absence of Boeing orders from Chinese carriers, growth is still attainable, albeit along a different trajectory than in the mid-2010s. Following disruptions caused by the pandemic and the temporary halt in 737 MAX production, Chinese fleets require an infusion of new aircraft to stimulate both expansion and fleet replacement. Boeing faced a significant setback when China grounded its 737 MAX aircraft after 2 fatal accidents occurred within 5 months in 2019. It wasn't until January that the 737 MAX resumed operations in China. Industry data forecasts that Chinese airlines will demand approximately 2,800 new narrow-body aircraft and 600 wide-body aircraft over the next decade. With China's narrow-body fleet averaging 8.7 years and its wide-body fleet averaging 7.6 years, both Boeing and Airbus have substantial order backlogs. If Boeing gains approval to resume aircraft deliveries to China, it may seize the opportunity to sell more aircraft given the available slots. In July, Stan Deal, Boeing's executive vice president, held discussions with Song Xiong, the head of the Civil Aviation Administration of China, in Beijing. A statement indicated that they explored Boeing's business development in China and opportunities to strengthen U.S.-China civil aviation cooperation. By the end of July, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun reported during an earnings conference call with analysts that over 90% of 737 MAX aircraft have returned to service in China, and they've observed promising signs such as restored deliveries. In contrast to Boeing, Airbus has experienced more favorable conditions in China. Experts posit that opting for Airbus over Boeing may serve as an effective means to emphasize the European Union's economic interests in maintaining constructive relations with China. China's domestically produced large aircraft are also on an upward trajectory, with substantial investments signaling reduced reliance on foreign competitors. China Commercial Aircraft Corporation anticipates an annual production capacity of over 150 aircraft in the coming 5 years. This increased market share for domestically produced aircraft signifies a reduced dependency on imports. Recent U.S.-China interactions have been strengthening, as evidenced by U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo's visit to Beijing at the end of August. This visit holds the potential to serve as a turning point for Boeing's aircraft sales. Raimondo referred to Boeing as an iconic American company and concluded her 4-day trip to China at Boeing's maintenance facility in Shanghai on August 30. From a technical standpoint, analysts argue that new supplies are imperative to sustain the operation and safety of Chinese fleets. As of the end of 2021, China's fleet consisted of 46.9% Boeing aircraft and 51.5% Airbus aircraft, highlighting the necessity for diversification. John Grant, senior analyst at OAG, anticipates that as the post-pandemic recovery accelerates, Chinese airlines will require more aircraft starting from the latter half of 2024. He foresees the possibility of Boeing receiving additional orders from China at that time. Last year, the company projected that China, as the world's second-largest civil aviation market, would necessitate 8,485 new passenger aircraft by 2041. Grant emphasized, to secure a place in the order book, you need a strong presence. This year, India, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia have placed significant orders. Deliveries are now extending into the latter part of the century, underscoring China's need to maintain its position. On Monday, Xiamen Airlines, a subsidiary of China Southern Airlines, unveiled plans to open bidding to leasing companies for the financing of 4 new Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets required for this year. This development further indicates the potential for increased Boeing jet deliveries to China. Analysts acknowledge that the trade, technology, and geopolitical tensions between China and the U.S. over the past 6 years have impacted Boeing's Chinese operations. Grant suggests that any aircraft orders announced signify shifts in positions on both sides or perhaps a de-escalation of tensions. Cirium Ascend, a fleet data consultancy, illustrates that during the pandemic, Chinese airlines primarily expanded their fleets through Airbus orders. Data reveals that from 2018 to mid-2023, the number of wide-body aircraft purchased by China surged by 26%, with Boeing's 737 MAX 8 and 787-9 making relatively modest contributions to China's fleet. In April 2023, during French President Macron's visit to China, extensive discussions on economic and trade cooperation took place. Subsequently, a substantial contract was inked between China and France, securing orders for 160 Airbus aircraft and an additional production line in Tianjin. This agreement firmly establishes Airbus as the frontrunner in terms of orders in China. For France, this represents a lucrative opportunity to ensure the continued growth of Airbus. Given the global economic challenges stemming from the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the difficulties faced by businesses worldwide, large corporations like Airbus, with their significant capacity to create jobs, carry substantial weight. Any faltering by Airbus could have significant repercussions for France. Airbus and Boeing stand as the 2 leading contenders in the global airline industry, dominating major aviation markets across the world. Hence, China's significant Airbus acquisitions foreshadow a further erosion of Boeing's market share. This development bears profound significance, particularly in light of Airbus deliberations regarding the opening of a second production line in China. The United States is acutely aware that China stands alone as a country with such vast market potential and purchasing power. A Boeing spokesperson also underscored, "We have a 50-year history of conducting business in China and eagerly anticipate continuing our partnership in the years ahead." That concludes today's video. Thank you for tuning in, folks.